At first, everything feels perfect. You are cruising along, the landscapes are breathtaking. Music's loud, singing, well, it sucks, but who cares? When life feels wide open. And then, the temp gauge creeps up. The obvious thing to do is to top up the coolant and hope for the best. So you pull over, let it cool down, and keep going, slower. The music gets quieter, the singing's non-existent, probably it's a good thing, but the real problem's still there, quietly getting worse. And then the engine light comes on. Little you knew. Coolant's leaking into the engine, killing it slowly. Ignore it long enough and you are stranded with a dead car and an expensive fix.
Unbound mind.
The thing is, most people do the same with their lives and businesses. They see the warning signs, stress, procrastination, falling profits, and what do? Reset, push through, positive vibes. Whatever nonsense makes it feel fixed for a while. But if you don't address the real problem, you are just buying time before it breaks you down. So if patching symptoms is like duct taping a radiator, what's the real fix?
Coming up next.
Game on.
Let's play a little game. It's called The Greatest Hits of Psychological Gaslighting, now with extra K. I'll pair up some common problems and solutions. For every pair you've heard of, give yourself 1 point. For every pair you believe in, give yourself 2 points. For every pair you've actually tried, give yourself 3 points and a pat on the back. Let's see how deep the delusion runs. Let's start with anxiety. Apparently, you can address it through regular exercise, healthy diet, and stress management. That brings us to stress. Obviously, regular exercise, healthy diet, of course, connect with others, and say no more often. No-brainer. Like, these are really easy things to do. Then comes depression. Cure all regular exercise, think positive, get out more, and practice gratitude. Just curious, have those people who recommend this ever been clinically depressed? I was. And from what I remember, regular exercise and positivity were the last things on my mind. Actually, all three are born out of uncontrolled thought patterns and various factors in brain function. Alas, a salad won't help. The next on the list is procrastination. So what do you do here? We break down large tasks, avoid distraction, and set realistic goals. That's important. Well, it doesn't really matter that procrastination is mental. It isn't behavioral. Low self-esteem, positive affirmations, self-care, fake confidence, including a power pose, I believe, and obviously blame parents. According to the latest trends, you can actually blame them for everything. It's pretty universal and makes it so much easier. No responsibility whatsoever. And the last but not least, burnout. So it's about self-care. Agreed, generally it's important. Set boundaries and rediscover activities you enjoy while in burnout. Okay, the rant is overish. Biting my lips here, but then I guess superficial advice isn't supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be quick and easy. You know what? I don't think I can handle the second part. Let's switch gears before I lose it. Meet Pete. Pete is a business guru, LinkedIn thought leader, self-proclaimed game changer. He's got solutions because obviously everything is just one hack away.
Thanks for having me, Aaron. Let's optimize some problems, shall we? High employee turnover? Easy. Free beers on Fridays and a no suits policy. Culture is fixed. Declining sales leads? Just boost SEO, chuck money at ads, and slap a new hero image on the homepage. Magic! Poor customer retention? Loyalty program. Because honestly, what else screams we care like a free coffee after 12 purchases? Stagnant innovation? Host a brainstorming session with Post-it. Innovation, no problems. Poor communication? New messaging platform. Bonus points if it pings every 3 minutes. Low productivity? Throw in a new AI workflow tool.
Sure, the problem is the software, not Susan's 14-hour working days.
Sales dropped? Flash sale, rebrand, and maybe a logo that looks more modern. All sorted.
Thanks, Pete. My sanity owes you one.
Appreciate the spotlight, Aaron. Always a pleasure to help you folks.
Unbound mind.
All right. Tally up your points. Now, what do you do with them? Nothing. Because these points are as meaningless as the solutions in this game. Temporary, useless, and a distraction from the real issue. If you are polishing the surface, you are not solving anything. You are just buying time before the cracks get bigger. It's like building a house on sand and hoping the paint job makes it sturdier. So, what's the real solution? We'll get to that. But it won't be superficial, because no real problem is superficial. What you see, feel, or perceive are just symptoms. Actually, this is a good little assessment to keep in mind. If your problem or feeling is obvious, it's still just a symptom. Don't waste your time, money, or motivation solving what you can see. It's useless by definition. Dig deeper.
When the roots aren't deep, every breeze feels like a storm. When the roots are deep, there's no reason to fear the wind.
And here are 2 systems that will help you do just that.
A farmer and abundant harvests.
A wise farmer, known for his abundant harvests, was asked by his curious neighbor, "How do you manage to grow such a bountiful crop every year?" The farmer invited the neighbor to observe his methods. He showed how he carefully prepared the soil, tended to the crops, and watered them consistently. He took time to remove weeds, rotate his crops, and protect the young plants from harsh sun. The neighbor, observing the farmer's extensive work, asked, "You put in so much effort. Why not just plant more seeds to increase the harvest, instead of all this extra work?" The farmer smiled and responded, "If I simply planted more seeds without considering the soil's health, the crops would not thrive. It's not about adding more seeds. It's about creating the right environment where the seeds can grow strong. If I ignored the underlying causes, like the condition of the soil or the care for the plants, the results would be poor, no matter how many seeds I plant."
So, what stops us from becoming as wise as this farmer? The reasons are in abundance. Biases, effects, heuristics. Yeah, cool words. I'm just pretending I'm smart. No, really, there are quite a few videos in this playlist that explain just that. Reasons aside, let's check on solutions, real solutions. The first one is the Rational Emotive Behaviour Therapy. Don't freak out. We will look at it only conceptually. But I'm sure you'll enjoy opening the Pandora's box.
Coming up next.
Mind Deep Dive.
There's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so.
Meet Albert Ellis. I'd show you his picture, but copyrights. Modern life, right? Anyway, Ellis, Humanist of the Year 1971. Originally trained as psychoanalyst. And then he got fed up. Then he became disillusioned with its inefficiency and lack of scientific evidence. Who wouldn't? Clients could explain origins of their issues, but they were not getting any better. By the way, the guy was really cool. Well, at least in my world. Bold, cheeky, and sometimes provocative. His word masturbation alone deserves a gold star on the famed boulevard. No, not that one. But those rigid and absolute beliefs such as I must succeed, you must treat me fairly, life must be easy. Basically, any thought that has must and should in it is mental masturbation. Ellis stood out from the wine and dine PT party therapy circle. You know the type. You delicate little victim, let's spend 10 years analyzing why you goldfish dying in 3rd grade ruined you. Tell me, how does that make you feel? And here is your tissue. If you enjoy answering this for the 50th time, this psychological genius may not be your cup of tea.
Unbound mind.
Funny enough, Ellis didn't invent all this from scratch. He pulled inspiration from Buddhism and Stoics.
People are disturbed not by things, but by their views of them.
Translation: our thoughts are not facts, but rather temperamental events, and our beliefs about reality, not the reality as such, that screws us up. In other words, we are the cause of our own struggles. To be fair, this isn't about denying the harsh realities of life. It's not intended for situations where external circumstances like violence or serious illness are the primary challenge. Here we talk about our day-to-day mundane struggles, where our thoughts and beliefs can either amplify or reduce our suffering. So while bearing it in mind, let's see how it plays out. Something happens, that something clashes with your beliefs about how it should be. Emotional or behavioral explosion follows. Let's see. Your colleague gives a pitch presentation. You are fuming because it's obvious how a pitch should be done. Everybody knows that, right? You are blaming on your colleague for not getting it. You bring that irritation home and take it out on your partner. You rage blame your dog. Why wouldn't you? Because it was all that idiot's fault who couldn't deliver a proper pitch. Yes, but. A big fat but. Getting annoyed? Your choice. Blaming your colleague? Your choice. Snapping at your partner? Guess what? Also your choice. Not because your colleague failed to get your expectations, but because your rigid beliefs set you up to explode. All our emotional reactions are symptoms. What we hide underneath is the root cause, the belief that drives the show, and that is what needs fixing if you want real change. Oh, and this isn't just philosophical poetry. REBT is backed by science. Just look at the data. It slashes anxiety and depression symptoms nearly in half. Burnout, down. Stress, down. Coping skills and job satisfaction way up. Even life satisfaction gets a serious upgrade. So yeah, it works, and not just in theory. So next time you're wondering how to re-engage a demotivated team, teaching them, and yourself, a little REBT could be the best decision you ever make. Will it fix everything? No. If the real problem is the leader who shouldn't be leading, no amount of mindset shifts will save that ship. But out of other options on the table, this one actually works.
Unbound mind.
REBT fixes the mental leaks, but what about the mechanical ones? Time to channel your inner toddler and ask why, until it hurts. Which, frankly, is the start of any real strategy. And if you're tired of patching cliques with platitudes, there is a strategy toolkit hiding in plain sight. Real tools for real thinkers, for people who are done knowing and ready to start understanding.
Coming up next.
Seeking truth.
It's not that I'm so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer.
Remember when we talked about beginner's mind, about seeing things with childlike curiosity? Well, what's the most annoying question every kid asks over and over again?
Why? Why do dogs bark? Why don't cats bark? Why do they meow? Why can't I meow? Why are you ignoring me?
Why is the wonder question. It's not just how kids build intelligence, it's how grown-ups build smart businesses. Before doom scrolling kills all the brain cells anyway. More on that charming apocalypse in another video. Asking why is used everywhere serious. Strategic planning, consumer research, manufacturing, with slight modifications in coaching and therapy, and yes, in root cause analysis. Speaking of which, ever heard of the 5 whys? Sure you have. It's basically the toddler method of genius. You keep asking why until someone's too embarrassed to give another half-baked answer. It started in manufacturing because it's easier to track what broke when it's a machine, not a human ego. But thinking what happens in manufacturing stays in manufacturing is how you rob your business of real growth.
Unbound mind.
SpaceX engineers keep asking why until they hit the laws of physics. NASA used it to unpack the Challenger disaster, and Toyota, they injected it into everything. In 2024, they sold nearly 9 million cars. That's double their closest rival. And when a scandal in Japan blew up, dodgy vehicle testing triggered a 7.7% sales drop in Asia. Did they flinch? No. They asked why, found the busted testing protocols, cleaned house, and started bouncing back by Q1 2025. Think about that. A single testing glitch knocked the king off the hill, and root cause analysis got them back in the game. And this isn't just about fixing what's broken. Toyota uses the 5 whys to dig into what customers really want, like fuel efficiency, hybrids, and all the stuff that makes their lineup weirdly diverse, but still top tier. Bottom line, no matter if it's sales, logistics, finance, operations, every business oops has layers. Every mess is the web of causes, not just the one that screamed the loudest. Root cause analysis is baked into all the systems smart businesses drool over. Lean, Six Sigma, the lot. It's not just for factories, it's for anyone who is tired of playing whack-a-mole with the same damn problems, and the only thing worse than fixing the wrong problem, not fixing it until it costs you 10 times more. Speaking of that, in software development, there is the 1-10-100 rule. Basically, it says, the earlier you fix the real problem, the easier it's going to be on your budget. 1 quid to fix a bug during design, 10 quid to fix it during coding, 50 to 100 to fix it during system testing and integration, hundreds to thousands to fix it after release. In other words, if you don't dig into root causes now, you'll pay exponentially later. If you only fix symptoms, your problems will come back stronger and hungrier, and they're gonna bite you in all the wrong places. Asking why is cheap. Assuming you already know, that expensive. Root cause analysis isn't optional anymore. It's survival. And 5 whys, they're just one tool. Different problems, different weapons. Chasing speed, drowning in complexity, fighting safety or engineering fires, there is a tool for that. Running a blame-free business, you unicorn, or allergic to premortems, don't worry. There is a tool for that too.
Unbound mind.
As said, different problems need different weapons. You don't bring a rubber duck to a gunfight. Choose smarter, dig deeper, because every shortcut you take today is a bomb you are planting under tomorrow's foundation. So, may your whys be relentless, your masturbation minimal, and your root causes exposed.
Easter egg. What if I told you?
In 1900, sponge divers off the coast of one of the Greek islands discovered a shipwreck filled with ancient artifacts. Among the treasures was a weird-looking bronze device. At first, it was dismissed as nothing extraordinary. Nearly a century of digging deeper, revisiting data, and challenging assumptions, and it forced historians to rewrite part of history. It was the Antikythera mechanism, the world's first computer, used to predict astronomical positions and eclipses, which dates back to around 100 before Christ. It proves that truth is buried deeper than you think. I'm Research. I hope to see you in the next video.